Hi, and welcome to my kitchen and back to our series of the 12 days of baking, although some of the things haven't been baked. Today we are going to be making gingerbread men. So let's get going. So I don't make gingerbread very often, so I actually have my recipe out so I know what I'm doing. But I need to start with 3/4 cup of soft butter. Butter sitting out, so it is pretty soft. I'm just trying to get it all in my bowl here. Okay, and then to that I need to add 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Get my little maple leaf out. Here, don't mess with that. Your hands aren't clean and I don't need it broken.
I cleaned up.
No, go wash them. You were outside working on that motor. 1. Well, let me see. I'm going to have to make up some more brown sugar here, maybe. 2. All right, I got to whip up some more brown sugar. Hold on. I'm sorry about that. And 3. All right. So I've got my butter, my 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and now I need my 1 egg. Be careful, don't get any shells in there. All right, we are going to get this mixed up, and then we'll come back and we'll start adding our dry ingredients. And to this mixture, I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. We're just getting it mixed in here really well. Vanilla. And then I want to go ahead and add my molasses, which, let's see, I need a half a cup of molasses here. I know I don't have a half cup, but I have another jar. This is going to take forever. I should have got that started. I'm going to go ahead and open this one. That one opened pretty good. Actually, might be faster. Yeah. All right. I'll leave that for my other recipe. I'll just get a half a cup. Oh, I forgot to spray my measuring cup, but that's okay. We'll get it out. Don't worry. I'll get it out. You guys know me. I've always got to have something slightly messed up, or I can't find it, or I just forgot to get it out of the cabinet. That's just my scatterbrain, that's all. Okay. All right. All right, I'm going to wash my fingers here. Okay, get that all cleaned up. And while I am at it, I want to add my cinnamon. Now, the recipe calls for a teaspoon. Measure with your heart. And then it calls for 2 teaspoons of ginger. Again, measure with your heart. If you like a really strong ginger flavor, there, I just took the lid off. Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, it smells so good already. And I'm going to go ahead and add my cream of tartar right now, which it calls for 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Okay, I'm going to mix this all together, and then we will add our salt, flour, and baking soda. Don't forget to scrape down your sides and your beater here. We want all that butter and everything incorporated. All right. Let's see here. I need 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. Okay. And 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And you know, that's one of the things I forgot to put on my shopping list the other day. I got most of it, but I forgot some things. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then it calls for 3 cups of flour. I'm going to do 1 1/2 at a time. I'm going to mix this and then come back and add the last 1 1/2 cups. Now, some recipes call for ground clove, but I do not have any. My son and my dog are barking at each other outside. We're having a slightly warm spell before another cold front moves in. So they're out playing chase and having fun at the moment. All right, that was my last 1.5 cups. I'm going to get this mixed up. Once again, scrape down your sides. Get down in there. Make sure all that flour, okay, is incorporated, which it looks to be. Some of this down in there. All right. All right, I'm going to give this just a little bit more of a mix here. All right, I've got this all mixed up. I'm just going to get this cleaned out here. Sometimes if you use your fingers, it's just a lot faster. And yes, I keep mine washed. Don't worry, I'm not being unhygienic here. What we are going to do with this dough is I'm going to wrap it in parchment paper and put it in the fridge for just a little bit, maybe a 1/2 hour to chill. And then we will be ready to roll out and cut out and bake our little gingerbread. Now you can do this in whatever shape you want, but I've got gingerbread shaped. So that's what we're gonna, or ninja man shaped, I should say. I can't even remember where we got those cookie cutters. We've had them a couple of years. I think they came in a kit one time, 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, I'm sure you can still get them, but my son finds them hilarious. All right, so I've got a sheet of parchment paper here, and I'm just going to take this dough, and it's a nice, soft, pliable dough, so that's good. This out. All right, get all that dough out. Okay. All right, and I'm just going to kind of shape it into a ball here. And then we're going to wrap this up. See, we just made a lump. Wrap this up, place this in the fridge, and we'll be back in a 1/2 hour. It's a little bit noisy, my washer and dryer is going, but my dough has chilled. So what I want to do is take another piece of parchment paper, because a lot of people will, when we're rolling them out, and I've made this mistake too, is we'll put a little bit of flour down. We don't want to be adding a whole lot of flour to our gingerbread dough. So just kind of roll it out. I might I think I'm going to cut this in half and do it in half. Let me grab my bench scraper. Okay, so I'm actually going to cut this in half and just make it a little easier on myself. I'm going to set part of this out of the way, and then this, I'm just going to kind of form into a disc here. All right, now cover with my parchment paper and start rolling it out. This is going to take just a second. A great thing about using the parchment paper to roll out your dough is you can move the dough around as needed without having flour go everywhere. All right. Set this, because we're going to need that again later. Oh yeah, that looks like a nice thickness. All right, now I'm going to take our little gingerbread men here. We're going to cut these out. I've got my first tray ready to go in the oven. These bake at 350 for 8 to 10 minutes. You guys know my oven. I'm going to start checking them at 6. We've got some of our gingerbread out. As you can see, they look a little, not quite gingerbread man shaped, but we are going to decorate these. These are a soft cookie, so they're not as sturdy as if you were making your gingerbread to do houses and things like that. So these are soft and these are so good to eat. So I've got one more batch in the oven. These are almost cool enough to decorate. I've got my royal icing ready to go. Let's get started. Thanks for joining us today, and happy baking.
See you tomorrow.